We are back answering your legal questions. Nicole Patino is answering all the workplace issues questions. Hillary Hux is answering the family law questions. And Hillary, we're going to start with you. This person is asking, is there such a thing as a do-it-yourself divorce without a lawyer?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, there is. And in fact, pretty much every lawsuit you can file yourself. The issue is for most of these things, there are not good go-bys readily available. And the paperwork can be a little bit tedious. So particularly if there are not issues related to child custody, child support, property division, alimony, those types of things, then it's relatively simple to get the divorce if you can check all the boxes and handle the paperwork and that type of thing.
Okay, and isn't there, I know a lot of times, well, most of the time, you hear of people, this person's hiring a lawyer and this person's hiring a lawyer. Can you just hire one lawyer for both of you?
So I think most family law attorneys typically wouldn't represent both parties. But if it's just, again, that absolute divorce, just the divorce without any of those accompanying issues, then it is really common for one party to hire the attorney. And as long as the other side is on board, essentially they have to do nothing and one person can kind of just handle it start to finish.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Nicole, this person is saying, can you be let go from your job because you're afraid to work on site due to the risk of COVID-19?
Yes, but talk to your employer and see if there are any safety measures they can implement that would make you feel safer at work.
Okay. And this person is then following up saying, can an employer insist on you working at another store that's known for COVID issues?
Yes.
I mean, is there anything that you can do as the worker?
I mean, if you have safety concerns, of course, you can report those. I would start with the employer, report them to HR. You can make a report to OSHA. So there are avenues to report safety concerns. And of course, you can always ask for additional PPE and safety measures. If you have a disability or some other factor that also plays into this, again, contact an attorney and you can talk to an attorney about options that might make it safer for you.
All right, Hillary, this person's saying, can a custodial parent legally keep me from seeing my children if I'm paying child support?
So it depends kind of on what you mean by custodial parent. If you have a custody order, that's going to be what controls. And if either parent's violating that court order, then they risk being held in contempt. If you don't have any kind of custody order, it's a little bit of a free-for-all. Both parents have equal rights to the child, and sometimes we see this kind of unfortunate tug-of-war between the child. If that's happening, that's a really good reason to at least have a conversation with an attorney, see about instituting a custody order, because that would solve that issue.
And do you have to have kind of evidence that that is happening?
If you wanted to pursue contempt, for example, if you wanted to kind of hold their feet to the fire for disobeying a court order, then yes, the more documentation you have, the better. That's always the case in any custody case. The more kind of notes you can take and journaling you can do, that's really going to help your attorney pursue your interests. If you don't have a custody order, really they haven't technically done anything wrong, so it certainly couldn't hurt to document it, but it's not going to be nearly as powerful.
I understand. Nicole, this person is asking, is your employer required to allow you time to pump at work if you've recently had a baby?
Yes, and they should provide you with a space that's shielded from other people, that's private, and it's not a bathroom to pump. If you're having issues with that, contact an attorney or the EEOC, and yeah, that's the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they can help.
Okay, and really quickly, if you want to file for divorce, one person lives in North Carolina, the other is in California. Which state do you file in?
As long as the person who has lived in North Carolina has been here for 6 months, you are fine to file here.
Okay, so you don't have to file in both states?
Nope. Nope, you'd be good to do it here.
Okay, understood. All right. Well, we want to thank you, ladies, for your expertise and your time. Answered lots of questions in that 30 minutes there. So we appreciate that. What we're going to do is we're going to put a lot of these answers in our web story so that you'll be able to go back and look at what they said and the things that they were referencing, like the EEOC and the Department of Labor, so that you will be able to have those resources at your fingertips.